What is up, guys? It's the Sound Alchemist here with
Gersh1!
And today we're back to answer more questions from you guys in another spine-tingling, toe-curling, tongue-flipping episode of For the Greater.
This is a video series where we answer the questions left by you, the viewer. If you have a question for us, comment down below. Put question in front of your question, because we get those questions first. And this is what Andrea Necci did. He asks, if before sitting on the Golden Throne, the Emperor had discovered the Webway, in your opinion, what would the Imperium be like now?
Dang.
That's a really good question. Because that is like a big point of like the story for the Emperor's fall.
Yeah.
Like the reason that he wasn't supposedly so open with the Primarchs is because he didn't want to divulge this secret that he's working on the Webway, because the Webway was controlled by obviously the Eldar and stuff like that. Yeah. Once the Imperium would get a hold of the Webway, it was game over for the rest of the galaxy, because they have access to go anywhere they wanted to.
Yeah, pretty much. We've seen the terror that it is to do warp travel. You could go back in time, you may not come out, you'll get devoured by chaos, you get to come out forward in time. Like, it messes you up. That's why Geller fields are very much needed, and even that, they kind of fail. So to mitigate all of that and just be able to travel anywhere in the universe, food, supply, soldiers, anything can be sent as soon as possible. Look how awesome, what is it called? The warp drives are in Star Wars. Like, oh no, we're getting attacked, and then boom, they're right there and helping them. Oh no, this planet's about to be destroyed by the Star Destroyer or whatever. Boom, they could get to that Star Destroyer area in a blink of an eye, pretty much.
Yep.
So yeah, near light speed travel or instantaneous travel is such a huge thing in any scenario that it would literally elevate the whole Imperium to like the next level of like a golden age, really.
Yep. If you check out our 40 Facts on the Adeptus Administratum, you'll learn that like a lot of the times when that organization sends out, because they're the ones in charge of sending like Imperial Guard regiments out and stuff. So like, if they ask for reinforcement, if a sector asks for reinforcement, the Adeptus Administratum sends them out. But the chances of them getting there are like kind of wishy-washy. So with a Webway, it's like guaranteed. So like you said, the Imperium would turn out to be a little bit more like a Star Wars type of like interconnection, which would be like, what is it, the Old Republic, I guess?
Yeah.
Or even like the Tau Empire, where like the Tau Empire has sept worlds, and then they kind of like control their own thing, and they're small. Like they're compact on the Eastern Fringe because of the purpose that they don't have faster than light travel, and they know that if they need to reinforce a planet, they can't reinforce it all the way in the fifth sphere.
Yeah.
But that concept of just having a really good pipeline of supply and defense and all that kind of stuff, it would allow the Imperium to do that.
Yeah, for sure.
Not all the way, like the Grimdark wouldn't completely be washed out, but there would still be nice.
Because there are still things in the Webway.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they could get attacked by the Dark Eldar or whatever, but yeah, it's a lot safer than what it is now.
Yep. Next question.
This one's by Lore Gone Me. Is the Emperor allowing his own worship to proliferate so he could continue to stay on the Golden Throne? In other words, his goal is to become a god to stand against the ruinous powers, even though he was a staunch fedora-tipping atheist. P.S. I love the channel. Y'all are funny and give the community a good name, unlike other 40K channels.
Yeah, mini wargaming.
Thank you for that, with that sly snark remark at the end.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're right. The Emperor was very like anti-chaos. Don't work with chaos, and now he himself is becoming a chaos god. Like, what's up with that?
It's exactly what you described, though. Like, I actually do think that in my headcanon, that is what is happening. And it's not the Emperor's intention. So the Emperor was naive in the beginning to believe that, no, humanity can rule itself, and, like, I don't have to, like, be there all the time. And then finally he's realizing, like, no, not only do I have to be there, but I have to become a god.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or... Yeah, the other thing could be that, like, his nativity, his naiveness, however you pronounce that, led him to be interred on the Golden Throne, which wasn't what he wanted. And now the only way that he sees to actually be proactive is to become a god.
Yeah.
So it's like he had no other choice. His own foolishness and hubris led to that being his only option.
Yeah.
Failure's not.
What is it? Mama is something. Because this trailer park gots to go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, Marshall Mathers. Slim Shady.
Next question comes from Arok9. How far would mankind have made it without psychic abilities, just science and guts? Oh, this is very like on point to like the whole
theme.
Not very far.
Yeah, definitely. We've seen that's pretty much like us now. Like eventually it'll get to a point where we're just gonna nuke the whole planet and we're gonna have techno-barbarian warlords.
Yeah, and even if like it's not like a post-apocalyptic scenario, there are certain planets we can never reach. Like we are limited to the laws the laws of physics, basically. So unless there is some type of like big breakthrough, like the whole Webway or the what's it called, faster than light travel, the warp travel.
Yeah.
Humanity is limited.
Yeah, I mean, look at Interstellar.
Yeah.
That's a good. I was about to say video. That's a good movie to watch, to show you like how far technology and science can take you, and like how even with that you can kind of play with time and physics to kind of bend reality in your favor.
Yeah.
That's all I got.
Next question comes from Mike or Mick. What race or being do you think would be the worst/best for the Tyranids to absorb?
That's an interesting one.
So I think the worst case scenario would be the ones I think they're called the Hrud, who control time.
Yeah.
Because imagine like the Tyranid hive mind and hive fleets controlling time. Like we're done.
Yeah.
And then the best one to absorb, I guess it depends on the perspective of best, because like the best would be the worst for
everybody else.
Yeah. But the one that would screw less people over, it probably like
the Tau.
Yeah.
Because I mean,
you don't get anything.
Yeah, physiologically speaking, the Tau don't really give too much. Most of their strengths come from technology and stuff like that.
Yeah, if anything, they would adopt caste systems, but like they already have that kind of with the synaptic creatures.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I was gonna say Necrons, but there's no biomass for them to absorb, so they can't get anything out of that.
No. The other thing could be necrodermis.
That's what I was thinking, but I don't think that would adhere to their.
Yeah, and they kind of already like they're supposed to be squishy.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's their benefit. Like who cares if you killed 1 million termagants because they're just goop that's gonna go back and turn into more.
Yeah. On that same kind of leeway, Dawa Penjor says, "What happens if a Nid eat a Primarch?"
You have like a really strong.
Like, think of the Swarm Lord, but like elevated to like the Swarm King.
He would have like the body of a hive guard, but with wings.
Yeah, like a flying hive tyrant, but like bulkier, faster, and able to like boo you off stage.
Has studs on its forehead to signify rank.
Yeah. He himself is a stud, but he also has studs to remind you.
Yeah, that he is a stud. Next question comes from. Who do you have one?
Yeah, I got one by Brian B. Is there anything going on with the Exodites? So the Eldar Exodites, we haven't seen much of them yet. There is going to be a huge, revival for the Eldar, both in terms of models, story, and 9th edition codices and stuff like that. So I'm pretty sure we'll see something there. Not just that, but over on Warhammer Plus, there is an animation called The Exodite, which strangely features the Tau, but obviously Exodites are Eldari, so we'll see what that has to do with that. But yeah, there's stuff to come with them. I'm excited.
If they were to do something with the Exodites, I feel like I would want to play Eldar a little bit more, just because dragons. Like they're riding dinosaurs, basically.
If you don't know what an Exodite is, it's an Eldar outcast who is not Drukhari, Inari,
or Craft World.
Craft World. What's the other one? Harlequin. There you go. Yeah, so they're kind of like doing their own thing.
Amish.
They pretty much are. They ride and farm dinosaurs and stuff like that. So hopefully we get some Exodite models, like to see dinosaurs without having to like kit bash with like the Seraphon from Age of Sigmar.
Yeah.
That'd be pretty cool.
Next question comes from Rylan Calderon. If Necrons are struggling to return to flesh, have they ever or can create new Necrons of flesh, aka Necrotier, from tubes similar to the process of the Death Court of Krieg? No, I think like that's the whole problem. Like they can't figure out how to take a soulless thing into, like, they don't know how to create a soul.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The Necron or the Catan knew, because they had those what are they called, transference chambers or whatever.
Well, that would get rid of it though.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
It's like deboning a chicken and then wanting to
put the bones back in
and have it be alive.
Yeah.
Like you can't. I mean, you could, but how? That's probably really difficult.
Mm-hmm. You just gotta like lick it a bunch.
Yeah. That's what happened in 101 Dalmatian with the dead puppy.
Yeah, that's true.
They just rubbed it, and then licked it, and then.
That's what happened at my bachelor party with the cat.
Oh yeah.
Kitsy.
Oh, it died multiple times.
Yeah, but it came back multiple times.
Yeah, that's true. Next question comes from Charlie Edwards. A rogue trader army is my dream army for 40k. Me too. What member would you include in your group if you were a rogue trader free to roam the 40k universe?
That's a fun question.
Yeah, and I think like for me, there's just so many options, but like the number one, I'm gonna give you three. Did he ask?
I don't think he said. He just said, who would you have in your crew?
So Jakiro Weaponsmith, a Ogren, because I want it to bond with me, and then it would be really cool just to like fill it in with some Xenos, a Kroot Shaper.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
that'd be pretty fun. I think I would have like just a crew of like 5 or 6 Jakiro weaponsmiths, and I myself would have like the cloak of a Jakiro weaponsmith. So when somebody tries to invade my ship or something, he'd see it empty, and then just randomly a bunch of like space monkeys would come out, and then he would like drop his guard because he'd be like, oh, they're just space monkeys. And then I take my hood off, and it's like, no, it was me all along. Blammo.
No, because it's a ring.
Ring. Yeah. Ringo blam.
Yeah. That'd be cool.
Or no, since it's a ring, it's like in brightest day and darkest night. No space marine shall escape my might.
Yeah.
Green Lantern's might.
And then you scream like an orangutan. That's exactly how they sound like.
Jakiro ones. So.
Yeah. Next question comes from Chaos 16 Boy. to an earlier question, when asked about Mechanicus, about having psychers, wouldn't they all be kind of psychers since they have superstition around tech?
No.
Superstition is just like something that humans have because they're stupid.
Yeah. Pretty much.
I think that's how you describe it, right?
Yeah, you can't explain something, so you just make believe it.
Yeah. Like God. Yeah, so no, I don't think they have psychers. Psychers is like legit, like moving things with your mind, seeing into the future, bringing in warp entities, things like that.
Yeah.
Superstition is just like if I touch this doorknob 10 times, I'm gonna not kill my mother or something like that. I don't know.
Step on a crack, break your mother's back.
There you go. Next one.
This one is by Matthew Palahanik. Are there any references to today's world like America in 40k? If so, any names, traditions, etc.?
Yeah, if you check out our 40 facts on the Unification War, or like, I think it's the Unification War, there's all of the techno-barbarian warlords come from a certain region of old Terra. So there's Africa, China, there's the
Bronx.
Yeah.
The Portillos from down
the Portillos, yeah. There's like an America version of the thing, but yeah. So there's.
Yeah, even nowadays, like a lot of the names and like names of like battleships and stuff like that, certain processes like crossing the Rubicon, that's from like way in Roman times. So you do see a lot of that in 40k.
So yeah, it comes in and out.
It's not just a bunch of make-believe words.
Yeah, which is good because I struggle with those.
I think the craziest thing is the servo skull of Nikola Tesla.
What is his name?
Nikola Tesla.
That's the name of it?
Yeah, I don't know. But I think I read that somewhere where there is a servo skull of his actual skull. It's like, how does that even, like...
That's cool.
Yeah, but, like, the dude died so long ago, shouldn't, like, the bones just, like, be dust?
Maybe he did invent time travel.
That's true.
Next question comes from Bastion of Deuce. How many worlds are included in the Farsight Enclaves, and what do we know about them? It's a whole region, right?
Yeah, so there's 7 worlds in the Farsight Enclaves, and we don't know how many worlds there are.
7?
Oh. That's the joke. Like, I give you an answer, and then I take it back by saying we don't know. Laugh. No, yeah, they don't really go into specifics. Every time there's like a new Farsight Enclave supplement, things change and like new things get added and stuff like that. So
because the latest one there was pictures, no?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it goes back to that whole thing where GW is just trying to let you or give you the creative freedom to be like, I'm creating my own planet on this for this thing.
Right. I'm creating my own sept. They got hardened warfare.
Whoa. They got what?
You know.
Let me go there. Short and stocky, that's my type. This question comes from Matthew. Why are my eyes going blurry? Am I having a stroke?
Of genius.
Matthew Polahongnik. Are there any references? Oh no, you already read it.
I got you. Chaos 16, boy. What mech would you like to crew from any faction?
That's a good question.
Yeah. It's always fun to crew like dreadnoughts, but you'd have to be a space marine that's like near death.
Yeah. And you go crazy.
Yeah, that is true, especially if you're a chaos dreadnought. They make you go crazy on purpose. But I think the number one would have to be a Tau battlesuit, especially a Code Star battlesuit, because I think just the maneuverability that you can have with like the thrusters and whatnot would probably be the best.
Yeah, I agree. Something with a Tau, just because it seems like you can jump out and then you can still be kind of okay.
Yeah.
Unless, because isn't there like a neurotide something that made them like you have to kill them at the end?
Yeah.
But like, yeah, if you think of the Imperium, Titans, you kind of lose your mind. You get connected to the machine spirit. Knights, kind of the same thing. What are they called? Princeps. They get connected to them somehow. So yeah, Tau.
Yeah, because I'm trying to think of any other faction that has something like that, but like Killer Khans, like
Death Dreads,
yeah,
things like that. It's painful. It's like a Mad Doc is like squeezing you in there, tying everything together.
Right.
Maybe the Eldar. They have wraith constructs.
But
right?
that's like you're a ghost. You have to die, have your soul in the stone, put the stone in the construct.
That sounds like a song.
It does.
Like a children's song.
Yeah. You have to die. Put your soul in the stone.
It's pretty good. Next question.
This one is by Thomas Wilson. Recently, a question was posted on Aspect Tactics that I'd like to hear some thoughts about. What faction could most likely be deleted? Wiping out an entire faction, I feel, could really ruin the game as a whole. So what are y'all's thoughts on what would happen if GW really deleted a faction, such as the Imperium, the Eldar, Chaos, etc.?
It would be damaging, but not as much as you think.
Yeah.
Because I feel like, especially with Xenos, some people don't really like they play Xenos, but then they also have Space Marines, so they can continue to play that game, and they're more than likely not even playing that Xeno race because it's not being supported.
Right.
So it's not as bad as you think.
I feel like we get comments all the time of people are like, I've had this Eldar army since 4th edition. It's just been sitting on my shelf collecting dust.
Which is that's the same thing as deleting it.
Yeah.
Like if you're not really supporting it or making it competitive or fun to play on the tabletop, then it's really just a collection.
It is, yeah.
So Eldar for me. I think at this point, obviously we're gonna get all new models. Like a bunch of stuff is gonna come out for them. So, but yeah, the Eldar.
Right. Pre-Eldar release, definitely the Eldar. Say the Eldar stuff was already out, I'd say Tyranids.
Yeah.
Because I feel like whenever you see tournament play, it's like you hardly ever see Xenos armies like that.
I agree.
It's always Space Marines, or I'm playing a super competitive Orc list or something along those lines.
Yeah.
Or we see power creep, where all the armies get their chance to shine in the sun, but it's like...
For a month.
Yeah.
And then it's like FAQ. Yeah. Those were the questions for today. If you guys have more questions for us, please comment down below. Thank you guys so much for listening, and we'll talk tomorrow.
That's right. This has been the Sound Alchemist.
First one.
And we are out.
Always used to put my freedom first in any situation.